Not interested.
Oh, okay. Any family friend you know that who family or member or friend that who are like crazy
Yeah,
about?
my husband is crazy. He went to his friend's place. Nearly 15 members. They went there and they are watching now. Whole night
Like,
they are
see,
there.
why they are watching together?
Yeah, it's fun for them.
Exactly. So when we come like reading together or go to temple doing kirtan because it's a fun. Right?
Yes,
People
yes,
think people say, why you want to go to temple? Why you want to go and do together? Because it's a fun. Like
yes.
anything you do together is fun, right?
Yeah.
But no, 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 you can do at home. Why you have to go temple? Why you have to go to, kirtan, festivals, And
Yeah,
what if your husband,
sharing is different, Prabhuji.
yeah, what if your husband had opportunity to go to India and sit in a stadium and watch the match? He will be just, okay, I'm going
Yeah.
for it, right?
He's
But if
oh
you,
my, I can't explain.
so if you give same opportunity, hey, you watch on maybe YouTube or you see things on, virtually social media. Why don't you go to temple and sit down and hear the same message? No, no, that's like really, that's not good. I can feel same thing on YouTube, right?
Yes.
So
But
so this is how it material world works, right? And actually, there is no gain in it. Oh, the players will win. Oh, somebody wins, they get money. Your adrenaline levels are going up and down without any benefit to you, anyways. And at the end, you feel sad or happy for some time because it just maybe few hours, right? So for few hours of happiness, people are sacrificing so much money,
mm,
time, right? So so we should be enthusiastic in same way in spiritual life, right? That when festival comes, when there is opportunity to go temple, spend time, we should be like, okay, I'm going in person. I'm not sitting here and watching, right?
yes,
And for us, in person is Zoom. Like somebody people like, okay, I can watch recording later, Prabhuji. But why not live, right? Like you see the World Cup final, right? Want to see live on big screen so that I can see the details of it, right? Like I want to see the
yes.
big picture, right? Okay, so let's start our session without delay. And I'm going to play Prabhupada's Mangalacharan audio. Prabhupada is singing Mangalacharan for us. So, moment, I'm bringing that. Okay. No, where is that? Was bring. It's very beautiful audio, and I want you to hear that. So, okay, I think I have that. Yes. Just close your eyes and just hear his
ॐ
voice.
अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति सापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलम् श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितम् त्वां सजीवम् स्वाद्वैतम् सावधूतम् परिजनसहितम् कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त्य राधाकान्त नमस्ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे
हरे Hare Krishna. So it's very important to hear Prabhupada's voice, and his voice is like very powerful. Like, and you see that each words are so clearly pronounced that anybody can just learn it. Like by just hearing daily, if you hear for 15, 20 days, you will remember everything like word by word, like he's speaking. So it's a nice thing to hear him and learn from him. And everything we are learning from him. It's not anyone else. So Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, anything you're learning in Krishna consciousness is from Srila Prabhupada. He made it. He created kind of in a way that we can understand and appreciate and we can relish it. He just presented his Guru Maharaj and previous Acharya's philosophy in such a way that people in this age can also understand the message the same manner as people used to understand 4,000, 5,000 years ago. Okay, so we'll start. Do you remember which verse we were in chapter 1?
We have to start, Prabhuji. Today is
wow. Today is the first day.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because in Hindi, we are chapter 2 now. Chapter 2, second verse. So it's today, last night I did.
That's why, because of that, maybe.
Yeah, we skipped certain certain days, weeks. Okay, so let's get started. Majnanatimirandasya jnananjana salakaya chakshurupurmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utaptakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavasya. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namaste Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanishte Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभस्य च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा। So आज हम शुरू okay in Hindi. So today we are starting chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita, and it's very important day, right? I think it's go past me in United States. And in St. Louis, we are celebrating Govardhan Puja today evening. So it's very important day. And Gopastami is a day when Krishna became the age of 9, maybe around 9, and they first time were sent to take care of cows. So Krishna Balaram went. That's the day to start taking care of cows, and they were dressed very beautifully, and because they were first time going to do something. It's like you send your kids first time to school, right? Like it's exciting time, right? Okay, first day of school, and so Radharani also wanted to go. So Krishna has a friend named Subal who was looking similar to Radharani, like in face wise. Sometimes you see even people who are male, they look something similar to someone female face. So Subal face was like Radharani's face. So Srimati Radharani took the advantage of that and she dressed like Subal, who is a friend of Krishna in taking care of cows. So she dressed like Subal and went with him, with Krishna Balaram. And they couldn't recognize her, that it is Subal or it is Radha. So she also went hiding. So today, a lot of temples in Vrindavan and Braj area, they dress Radharani as a cowherd boy because he went today to release and give us, be with Krishna and Balaram on the day, and they were going to start taking care of cows, right? So that's the story. Somebody. So let's get it started. Chapter 1, observing the armies on the battle of field of Kurukshetra. So this is slope. This is first slope of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1. First, it's like 1.1. So you should try to memorize that. Everybody can repeat after me. Dhritarashtra Uvacha
Dhritarashtra
धृतराष्ट्र उवाच
Dharmachetre Kurukshetre
धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे
Shamvevatayutsavaha
संवेतायुयुत्सवः
Mamaka Pandavascheva
मामका पाण्डवाश्चैव
Kim Kuruvarta Sanjaya
किं कुर्वत सञ्जय
Dharam Chetre Kurukshetre
धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे
Shamvetayutsavaha
संवेतायुयुत्सवः
Mamaka Pandavascheva
मामका पाण्डवाश्चैव
Kim Kuruvarta Sanjaya.
किं कुर्वत सञ्जय
Okay, some of you want to repeat. And before you do, I think Parvati is joining the friend of Pavitra today. So we welcome you, Parvati, for the class today and discussion today. I don't say class, but it's a discussion. We read Bhagavad Gita together every Sunday evening. It would be good if we all can see you once. No face by face. It would be good if you can switch on the camera if possible, then we can be like more in person than remote. So, but if not, then don't worry. So, Parvati,
Yeah,
nice
it's
to meet you. Okay. So whenever you feel people, we can switch on and we'll see it. Otherwise, we continue. Anybody wants to repeat and cite the verse?
Yes, Prabhuji. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetayutsava Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kima Kurvata Sanjaya.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Nagrani.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, anybody else want to read first
I will
sloka of Bhagavad Gita? Yes.
धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किं कुर्वत सञ्जय हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Jenny ji or Hanju ji? or Parvati, you want to read?
I am sending PDF to Parvati right now, Prabhuji.
Okay, no problem. Okay,
I
no
don't
problem.
remember.
She has in Tamil version, so since we are reading English, I have to share.
Anybody else doesn't have a book here? Okay. Okay. All right. So let's read. We will skip word by word meaning. We will read translation and purport. And going forward, one person will read one verse, like whole, like Sanskrit translation and purport, and then second person, like third person. That's why we do. If the purport is very big, then we split into two people because person get like, okay, now drying my throat. All right. So Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjay, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring for fight, what did they do? For Bhagavad Gita is widely reached theistic science summarized in Gita Mahatma, glorification of Gita. There it says that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Sri Krishna and try to understand it without personally motivated interpretation. The example of clear understanding is there in the Bhagavad Gita itself, in the way the teaching is understood by the Arjuna who heard the Gita directly from the Lord. If someone is fortunate enough to understand the Bhagavad Gita in that line of disciplic succession without motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all studies of Vedic wisdom and all scriptures of the world. One will find in Bhagavad Gita all that is contained in other scriptures. But the readers will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. That is a specific standard of Gita. It is the perfect theistic science because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. The topic discussed by Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya are described in Mahabharata from the basic principle of this great philosophy. Form the basic principle of this great philosophy. It is understood that this philosophy evolved on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is a sacred place of pilgrimage from the immemorial time of the Vedic age. It was spoken by the Lord when he was present personally on this planet for the guidance of mankind. The word Dharmakshetra, a place where religious rituals are performed, is significant because on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present on the side of Arjuna. Dhritarashtra, the father of Kurus, was highly doubtful about the possibility of his son's ultimate victory. In his doubt, he inquired from his secretary, Sanjaya, what did they do? He was confident that both his sons and the sons of his younger brother Pandu were assembled in that field of Kurukshetra for a determined engagement of the war. Still, his inquiry is significant. He did not want a compromise between the cousins and brothers, and he wanted to be sure for the fate of his sons on the battlefield, because the battle was arranged to be fought at Kurukshetra, which is mentioned elsewhere in Vedas as a place of worship, even for the denizens of heaven. Dhritarashtra became very fearful about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. He knew very well that this would influence Arjuna and the sons of Pandu favorably, because by nature they were all virtuous. Sanjaya was a student of Vyas, and therefore, by the mercy of Vyas, Sanjaya was able to envision the battlefield of Kurukshetra even while he was in the room of Dhritarashtra. And so Dhritarashtra asked him about the situation on the battlefield. Both the Pandavas and the sons of Dhritarashtra belonged to the same family, but Dhritarashtra's mind is disclosed herein. He deliberately claimed only his sons as Kurus, and he separated the sons of Pandavas from the family heritage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhritarashtra in his relationship with his nephews, the sons of Pandu. And in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants as in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out. So it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion, Sri Krishna, was present, the unwanted plants like Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana and other would be wiped out, and thoroughly religious person headed by Yudhishthira would be established by the Lord. That is the significance of word Dharmakshetra and Kurukshetra, apart from the historical and Vedic importance. So everybody understood? It's very simple, very plainly. Prabhupada is explaining how to understand this first sloka. So it's a Dharmakshetra. So if you go to temple, you will not feel the same energy as you feel in the bar, because in temple you will not have those nice fragrance of bar, or you know, and people will be not that nice as they are in the bar, and you will not feel that aura, right? So, and the servings, they will not serve such nice things as they serve in the bar and restaurant, like non-vegetarian restaurants. So that's the situation where Dharmakshetra is Kurukshetra is near Delhi, still there. ISKCON is building a big temple, and this temple is on wheel, like Krishna was sitting on the wheel with Arjuna. That's the format. They're building like bronze temple. It's gonna be remaining for thousands of years there. So there was nothing actually in Kurukshetra nowadays, but now they started. There is a Brahma Sarovar. Brahmaji used to come there. That's why Prabhupada is saying even demigod used to come in Kurukshetra to worship, because that's so holy, and Dhritarashtra is fearful, right? That they may not fight, and he wanted fight, like it should happen. And but his question is, Prabhupada saying, is very crazy. What did they do when they went it for the war in a battlefield? What is the point of asking what did they do? If you are going to bar, you're going to drink. Like, what is the question? What did you drink? I mean, I'm not there to drink lassi, right? So why you're asking this question, right? What did they do? Of course, they were going to do what they intend to do, right? So this question is out of fear, like, oh, did they fight or did they not fight, right? And why? Because why this doubt? Because the place was for virtuous people, and virtuous will prevail, especially when Krishna is sitting there. Dharma himself, like as a manifested dharma, Krishna is there. So adharma cannot prevail, right? So he knew it. Dhritarashtra knew it, but he has no control over his son Duryodhan and other party, right? He was intentionally helpless. It's not that he was helpless. He doesn't want to exercise his power, because he was envious of his brother Pandu. If you know the history of Mahabharata, then I'll give you a glance, maybe a refresher you may have already aware of. Just give me a moment, and please connect to my whiteboard and my iPad so that I can scribble a little bit while, because it's good to little bit use whiteboard. It helps to remember easily. All right. Okay. I'm coming there. Okay. Now you can see me fully. Use a whiteboard. Okay, let me change its settings to multiple participants. Okay, hopefully we can. Okay, so let me share whiteboard. Okay. Coming here. So this is called Kurubans. Very simply, I'm saying Kuru, right? Kurus. They were primarily two brothers, which you know, Dhritarashtra and Pandu. right? He was a big brother. Dhritarashtra was big brother, and he was like younger brother. Okay. So first, second. Now Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Okay. So in Vedic time, I think nowadays, if you're blind or disabled, you have a disability, you cannot be prime minister or president. This is the rule. Like you can't be king because people can exploit you and then everyone will suffer because of your craziness. So, and disability. So he was not supposed to be the king, despite his being the youngest, the eldest brother, right? So he was asked not to become king. So then Pandu became the king, right? He became the king. Now, because of this, Dhritarashtra was not happy, right? Not happy. So he was not happy, right? So, and not happy means he was envious of Pandu that how can you become a king? And you know, of course, it's just 4,000 years ago, right? So people were also going to the saying, hey, how can your brother become? See how much power he's exercising. He's your younger brother. So people start mingling in family matters. That was happening even that time. Okay. So he married to Gandhari, right? Gandhari. And Gandhari's brother was Sakuni, right? And Sakuni is very interesting personality. He will instigate not just Dhritarashtra, but also all the sons. Gandhari gave birth to 100,
Pravas.
Kauravas. So, and this king, Pandu, he died because of a disease. So he also died. And he has 5 sons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pandavas. So when he died, ideally this Yudhishthir, who is the youngest brother of Pandu, the king, should have been the king, next king. But then, by then, Dhritarashtra also has 100 sons, headed by Duryodhana, right?
Yes.
So now Dhritarashtra wanted Duryodhana to take over after Pandu died because he thought, okay, I was blind, but my sons are okay. So then I should get the kingdom, right? Because my sons are now ready. And second thing, they were 100 in number, right? And
Yes.
plus Sakuni, and highly corrupt, right?
Yes.
Corrupt and politically influential, right? So naturally, Dhritarashtra saw, forecasting. He was looking at forward, and he was thinking that I deserve it, right? So he thought that I am deserving it. So why they are taking away my, and this was one thing. Okay, so this was not a big problem. The biggest problem came. So the Duryodhana always tries to kill, almost kill. So Duryodhana many times in the Mahabharata we read gave poison to Bhim. To Bhim. He always tried to kill Pandavas because then if he kills them, there is no question of who is going to be next king, right?
Yes.
But Pandavas were where Pandavas were Pandus married to Kunti. Kunti was sister of Vasudeva. Vasudeva and Devaki, right? You remember? And
Yes.
Vasudeva Devaki were father and mother of Krishna.
Krishna.
Yes.
So Krishna became, Kunti was by Buva, like father's sister is Krishna became relative. So Krishna became brother relation with Pandavas, right? He was a brother, like, so by mother side. So then Krishna became their relative. And then Kauravas became envious because Krishna has been performing wonderful pastime from birth. And they were thinking, oh man, this is this person now relative. And what I'm going to do? Because Krishna already defeated everyone and established himself in Dwaraka. He was ruling there. Yadavas were very powerful, right? Vrishnivansas, very powerful people. And Krishna born in that family. Now Duryodhan became envious of Krishna too, because Krishna was son, brother of the
Pandavas.
Yes.
Pandavas. So now this is the situation. So this was okay, not a problem. They could have just divided, but Duryodhana was not ready to share the property. He wanted to forcefully take away and kill Pandavas. So he did couple of things, right? First, he organized the um, gambling match, right? Great gambling, right? Gambling match. Now, second, so in gambling, something happened. They Sakuni kind of cheated, and Yudhishthir knew that Sakuni is going to cheat. But the principle was that if you are a Kshatriya and somebody challenges you for a game or anything, you are supposed to play it. You cannot decline it. This is Kshatriya. That somebody challenges you, you have to take it. So then they went for it, and they were assured that Krishna will protect me. So they went for it. They tried their best, but they lost it. They lost, and they not only lost their kingdom and everything, they also lost Draupadi, right? Because Draupadi they had won in a context, so that was theoretically as if they won something in a context. So they got Draupadi from Drupad. After a fight, there was also a war that time. So then they even bet the Draupadi for that, because they were kings, they were Kshatriyas. So anything has to, if somebody challenge you, put it for that bet. So they lost Draupadi. So now Duryodhana and Dushasan, right, and Karan. These three people wanted to strip Draupadi in the king's assembly, like everyone sitting there. And why? Because they felt insulted when Draupadi's marriage was being organized, and they fell down and they laughed, they just laughed jokingly. And because of that, they became very revengeful for Draupadi. So they wanted Draupadi to be insulted. And you can insult people like laughing, but literally strip, like make it naked, right? Someone's,
Yes.
daughter-in-law, you want to make them naked. This is how impious people behave. They are very revengeful for everything, and they are worse. When situation comes, they will even want to kill the person with little things, right? Little thing, like little something laughed or something, made a joke which they didn't like. But because their heart is so dirty, they want to take that revenge so strongly that then they feel happy. Okay, now I'm happy, right? So now what happened? They made attempt to strip Draupadi, right? You know the story. And in that assembly, everybody was sitting. Bhishma was there, Drodacharya was there, all the big people who are now in battlefield, they are sitting there in that assembly. Bhishma was the grandfather, and then in relation, Draupadi was like a small baby, like a grand daughter. But Bhishma did not open the mouth. He was supposed to stop Duryodhana, Karna, everyone. No, you can't do this, right? You won it, take it respectfully, and whatever you want to do, but you cannot do like that, right? But they did it. So because of Draupadi's, and then Draupadi prays to Krishna. She was a deity of Krishna. Krishna came, supplied unlimited saris. She was protected because Krishna was the ones helped by Draupadi when his finger cut it. So she gave her clothes. So Krishna supplied it at that time when she asked for it. But she has to ask for it. Krishna didn't give until you ask. That's how it works. So you have to ask for it. Even Draupadi has to ask. So she was a devotee. Krishna protected her. But Krishna did not forget that revenge, that situation. His devotees, Draupadi was put in Pandavas. So that's why Mahabharata happened. That once you insult a woman, and in a family, if a woman is insulted, the whole family get destroyed, because that is not especially if a woman is a deity or devotee of Krishna, because woman or a female is a foundation for the whole family culture and values and respect. But if she is insulted, then there is no future. You can see in people's life this happens when these things happen, people do such things, then this will happen. So then what happened? They had a gambling, they lost Draupadi. Draupadi was finally taken back by Pandavas. She was not stripped, right? They went into forest for 13 years. They were attempted to burn in the Lakshagriha. Then they were attempted to kill in the forest. There is a whole story of Mahabharata. And then when they finished 13 years of their exile, 1 year they had to stay incognito. Incognito means nobody can recognize them. If they recognize in that 1 year, then
They have to
your
repeat.
13-year work is gone, right? So they were incognito. And when also Duryodhana was looking for them, let's find them, let's find them. And he attacked. He attacked again. And then Kauravas were defeated again. They were asked to run away with life. So Pandavas didn't kill them, but they just asked to run away because when they stole the cows of the king, and then the Pandavas went to protect them. So now 14-year over, fast forward, and then time came. Now let's in 14 year, Duryodhana consolidated himself as a king, supposed to be king. His father was alive, but he was ruling everything. It's like a Sonia Gandhi is there, but Rahul Gandhi is trying to manage everything, right? Like you see some politician, like they just like hand pick pet, right? So Duryodhana was doing everything, but Dhritarashtra was hand puppet. And Vidura was giving advice. Vidura was Krishna's deity to Dhritarashtra that please stop your son. He will destroy your family. But Dhritarashtra used to say, sorry, I'm helpless. I have so much affection for Duryodhan that I cannot say anything to him, whether he's wrong or right? So, fast forward, ultimately, Krishna went. Vidura tries to convince Dhritarashtra, please give the share of Pandus or their son, let them rule, live life. Dhritarashtra says, sorry, nothing. Like Tenga, right? Like nothing there, over. You're done, 14 years, I'm king. My sons are now assembled and they consolidate themselves, right? They are powerful. Now Krishna came to just proposal as a peaceful messenger and asked them that, okay, you don't want to give half share, fine. Can you give just 5 villages? Because these Pandavas are kings, like they are Kshatriyas, so they have to rule certain places and collect taxes. They cannot do agriculture, they cannot do trade. They have to be administrator. So they can collect some taxes, maintain their family. Just give 5 villages. Five
Yes.
villages is not a big deal, right?
Yes.
And then Duryodhan said, Krishna, I will not give you, or Pandus, I will not give you a land equivalent to a tip of the pin
Mm.
until there is a war. Until there is a war. And then Duryodhana attempted to arrest Krishna and kill him because he knew that if I kill Krishna, then I can win over Pandus. So he tries to kill Krishna. And then Krishna shows it Vishwarupa form. They were like, oh, no, don't try. Sudarshan was there. He just destroyed everyone in a moment. So they realized that. And then also Krishna was so merciful. Then when everybody started preparing for the war, Krishna, now the question was whose side Krishna will be there, right? So Krishna offered, okay, you can come to me, ask for it. So then you remember the story. Arjuna reached, Duryodhana reached. Arjuna sit in the front, on the feet of Krishna, and Duryodhana was on the head. Duryodhana said, I first reached, so I want to ask first. So he asked all the army of Krishna, actually 18 actually Shena, like whole army, millions of people. And Arjuna said, Krishna, you alone is enough for me. I just want you, right? And that's how they are here, right? But Balaram did not fight. You can question, where was Balaram? Balaram, Duryodhana was disciple of Balaram. Duryodhana learned all the military art from Balaram, right? So Balaram did not fight. Balaram went for pilgrimage. He said, if I fight, then there is no war because in one moment I will finish everyone. It's over, right? So then it will be unbalanced war. What is the point of fighting with an arrow with an atomic bomb, right? Like what is a war, right? Fighting with a stick with a tank, military tank. It's like that. So Lord Balaram went for pilgrimage in northern India and a whole India tour. He went for all India tour. So Krishna and Arjuna now here in battlefield, and you will hear all detailed story now. What happened, what was situation, why did Bhagavad Gita got spoken there. So let's continue quickly now. I wanted to give you a little background so that you can relate when we read more here. I don't have to explain a lot that time. Okay, so let's go to verse number 2. Who wants to read?
I will read, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Sanjaya Uvacha दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा संगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्. Should I read again or?
No, you can read once and then translation and purport. You don't have to read word by word.
Okay. दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा संगम्य Raja Vachanamabravit. Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. Purport. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sanjaya could understand his motive in asking about the situation on the battlefield. Sanjaya wanted, therefore, to encourage the despondent king and thus assured him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. Sanjaya therefore informed the king that his son Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief, Dronacharya, to inform him of the real position. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician. But Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Pavitraji. We'll go to next verse. We'll read together couple of verses and then we'll discuss something. Okay, next one, who wants to read? You can raise your hand, then I can call your name. I know whom to. Nagrani, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay, Prabhu. Pasyatam Panduputra Namacharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudam Drupada Putrena Tava Sishyena Dhimatam. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana commander-in-chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupada, the father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupada performed a great sacrifice, by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet as a liberal Brahmana, he did not hesitate to impart all his military secrets when the son of Drupada, Drushtadumna, was entrusted to him for military education. Now, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drushtadumna took the side of the Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for their military phalanx. After having learned the art from Dronacharya, Duryodhana point out this mistake of Dronacharya so that he might be alert and up compromising in the fighting. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna, especially, was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also warned that such leniency in the fight would lead to defeat.
Thank you, Mataji. So let's go next verse. It's very important. A lot of things here you already read, but we'll synthesize once we finish couple of verse. Next verse, who wants to read? Anyone like Nalanji, Anju, Jenny, or Parvati? Do you people have all four of you have a book, or I should share the screen?
No, Prabhuji, please share the screen, then I will read.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Give a moment. I'll allow them. All right. Now you go. Good. Yeah. Can you read now, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Pandavas who were also Dronacharya, affectionate
No.
student.
No. Yeah. This from verse 4 here.
Okay.
This one can read from here if you like. Sorry. Wait. I'm bringing that for you. Okay. Yes. Here.
Atrishura, Maheshwasa, भीमार्जुन समायुधि युयुधानो विराट द्रुपद महारथ. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighter like Yayudhana, Virata and Drupada. Even though Dhrishtamna was not a very important obstacle in the face of Dronacharya's very great power in the military art. There were many others who were cause of fear. They are mentioned by Duryodhana as great stumbling blocks on the path of victory because each and every one of them was as formidable as Bhima and Arjuna. He knew the strength of Bhima and Arjuna and thus he compared the others with them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So next two you can read 5 and 6. Who wants to read? Nalan or Jenny, you want to read? Okay.
Can I read,
Can I
Prabhuji?
read, Prabhuji?
Okay, let's Pavitra read one and then next one you can read.
Okay.
दृष्टिकेतु श्वेकितान काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरोजित् Kuntibojascha, Shebhyascha, Narapungavaha. There are also great heroic powerful fighters like Drishtiketu, Chekitana, Kasiraja, Purujit, Kuntiboja, and Saibya.
Thank you. So next, Mataji, you can read 6th.
युधामन्युश्र विक्रांत उत्तमौजाश्र वीर्यवान सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्रव सर्व एव महारथा. There are the mighty Yudhamanyus, the very powerful Uttamauja, the son of Subhadra and the son of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
Thank you, Mataji. Next, who
Hare
wants to
Krishna
read?
Prabhu.
अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये तान्निबोध द्विजोत्तमा नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते. But for your information, O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force.
Thank you. Next one I can read, Mataji. 8th.
Okay, Prabhuji. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Krupascha Samitinjayah Aswattama Vikarnascha Saumadattisthachaivacha. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Krupa, Aswadhama, Vikarna, and the son of Somadatta called Bhurisarva, who are always victorious in battle. Duryodhana mentions the exceptional heroes in the battle, all of whom are ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhana, Aswadhama is the son of Dronacharya, and Saumadatti or Bhurisarva is the son of the king of the Bahlikas. Karna is the half-brother of Arjuna and he was born of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. Krupacharya's twin sister married Dronacharya.
Okay, next person wants to read 9th and 10th. Pavitra, you want to read?
Yes,
9th
Prabhuji.
and 10th.
अन्ये च बहवः श्रूरा मदर्ते त्यक्तजीविता नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all are experienced in military science. As far as the others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Kritavarma, and Salya, all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of the sinful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was, of course, confident of his victory on account of the above-mentioned combined strength of his friends. Aparyaptam tasmakam balam bhishmabhirikshitam paryaptam tvidame metesham balam bhima bhirakshitam. Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited. Herein, an estimation of comparative strength is made by Duryodhana. He thinks that the strength of his armed forces is immeasurable, being specifically protected by the most experienced general grandfather Bhishma. On the other hand, the forces of the Pandavas are limited, being protected by a less experienced general, Bhima, who is like a fig in the presence of Bhishma. Duryodhana was always envious of Bhima because he knew perfectly well that if he should die at all, he would only be killed by Bhima. But at the same time, he was confident of his victory on account of the presence of Bhishma, who was a far superior general. His conclusion that he would come out of the battle victorious was well ascertained. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So let's read next one. Who wants to read? 11. Anyone who'd never read here, I'm requesting you please read if you can, because it's important you read, otherwise you won't get much benefit out of it, right?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागं वस्थिता भीष्म भीष्मे वारिभिः सन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एह हि. All of you must know, all of must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategies point of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Dronach
Sorry.
Duryodhana, after praising the power of Bhishma, further considered that others might think that they had been considered less important, so in his usual diplomatic way, he tried to adjust the situation in the above words. He emphasized that Bhishmadev was undoubtedly the greatest hero, but he was an old man, so everyone must especially think of his protection from all sides. He might become engaged in the fight and the enemy might take advantages of full engagement on one side. Therefore, it was important that other heroes not leave their strategic positions and allow the enemy to break the flanks. Duryodhana clearly felt that the victory of the Kurus depended on the presence of Bhishmadev. He was confident of the full support of Bhishmadev and Dronacharya in the battle because he well knew that they did not even speak a word when Arjuna's wife Draupadi, in her helpless condition, had appealed to them for justice while she was being forced to appear naked in the presence of all the great generals in the assembly. Although he knew that the two generals had some sort of affection for the Pandavas, he hoped that these generals would now completely give it up as they had done during the gambling performance.
Thank you, Mataji. Let's read few more verses and then we'll discuss and have questions. Okay. Text number 12, sloka 12.
Prabhuji, Parvati will read. I will read Sanskrit verse for her.
Yeah, so okay. So if anybody doesn't want to read Sanskrit, you can take help, or I can help if you don't have. You just let me know. You can just read English, okay? Sorry. Thank you. Please.
Tasya sanjanayan harsham kuru vriddha pitamaha sinhanadam vinagyochaihi shankam dadmau pratapavan.
Yes, Parv, please.
Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Guru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his counsel very loudly, making a sound like the roar of lion, and giving Duryodhana joy. The grandsire of the Guru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of his grandson Duryodhana, and out of his natural compassion for him, he tried to cheer him by blowing his counsel very loudly, befitting his position as a lion. indirectly by the symbolism of the council. He informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle because the Supreme Lord Krishna was on the other side. But still, it was his duty to contact the fight, and no pains would be spared in this connection.
Thank you, Parvati. Okay, so let's read next one. I'll read Sanskrit if you need help. So just let me know by just saying I'll read for you and then you can read English. Okay? Jenny or other person. Okay.
I can read this one, but yeah, someone can read Sanskrit, then it will be good.
Yeah, your friend will read. So he can read Sanskrit, you can read.
Pavi?
You're muted, Pavi.
I'm sorry. ततः शङ्कश्च भैर्यश्च प्रणवान् खगोमुखाः सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त सशब्दस्तु मुलोऽभवत्.
After that, the conchs, drums, blacks, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was demonstrationless.
Next one. Yeah, Pavitra can read.
ततः श्वेतै हर्यै युक्ते महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यौ शङ्कौ पदद्मतुः. On
the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna stationed on a great chariot drawn by the white horses sounded their transcendental soundless in crowns with the conchal blown by Bhishma Deva. The conchals in the hand of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental. The sounding of the transcendental conchals indicated that there was no hope of victory for the other side because Krishna was on the side of Pandavas. Jayastu Pandu
Panduputranam prakashe esham prakshe janardana.
Victory is always with persons like the son of Pandu because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there because the goddess of fortune never lives alone without her husband. Therefore, victory and fortune were awaiting Arjuna, as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conchal of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated have been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna. And this indicated that this chariot was capable of conquering all sides whenever it was drawn over the three worlds.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I think this is now time for discussion. So far in last couple of verses, we finished in 14 from, I think, 6th. So what do you see here, right? First, if you go back a little bit for your own. So in the slok number, I think it started at slok number 3 or 4. Okay, yeah, 3. So Duryodhana is going to his teacher. Now he is a general, like commander-in-chief for the Kauravas army. And what he is saying, he's trying to find fault in his teacher, Dronacharya. That, hey, I know that you have affection for Pandavas. And I know that your son is on the side of Pandavas, Dhristadyumna. He was the son of Dronacharya. And I know that you committed mistake. No, not the son. The student of Drupad. Yeah. He was the son of Drupad, who was the enemy of Dronacharya. But still, Dronacharya in Vedic time, it's not that, and Drupad had this son, Dhristadyumna, so that Dhristadyumna can kill Dronacharya. And Dronacharya knew this. And when the Dhristadyumna was sent to learn the military art from Dronacharya, he did not refute, because that people were following their duty. They're duty bound. It's not that, you are enemy, then I won't talk to you. That is a fear. That is a, what do you call? It's not a warrior's nature, right? So then he trained him. And this Dhristadyumna now was military in chief for Pandavas. So Duryodhana was trying to find fault in his teacher, come military commander, that, hey, you committed one mistake. Now don't do this time. And now he goes on. And this is the nature of people who are someone like Duryodhana's nature. They will not be respectful to even their teacher, or to someone who is standing in the battlefield to lie down their lives. Like Duryodhana was there to fight and die, like whatever, like win or die. But still Duryodhana is trying to find fault, right? This is the nature of Duryodhana-like mentalities, like demonic nature. They will try to find fault in everyone. They will not trust anyone. Now Duryodhana goes next, right? What is saying? Hey, see how expertly your son of Drupad, Dhristadyumna, has arranged. So they will appreciate next person work by in sarcastic manner. Hey, see how nicely Pandus have arranged, which means you are military commander of mine, but you did not do the good job, right? Because I'm not appreciating you first. Like, hey, you have done a nice job. You're trying to be sarcastically, finding fault. Now, in next verse, he goes on. Here are many army. Now, if you are a king, like Duryodhana was a king, then you should be yourself powerful, right? You don't have to be dependent on others, right? You don't have to fire your gun with putting on others' shoulder. You have to be your own powerful and decision maker, right? Then you become a king in Vedic time, not in democracy. In Vedic time, the king was like, has to be powerful to become king. It's not that you're at the age of 80, when your body not working, you're becoming president. What are you going to do with that? Right? People will going to exploit you. You have a Parkinson or Alzheimer. Your brain is not working, but you became president or PM, right? Now that was not allowed. So he is appreciating again that some other people, Yudhidhan, Virat, Drupad, right? And then he goes on appreciating others. Then in next verse number, if you go to next forward, that let me tell about the captain who are especially equally limited for claim to be lead my forces, right? So he goes on to appreciate everyone, because then he realized that, oh, if I don't appreciate everyone, then they feel that I don't need them, right? So then he appreciated Bhisma, and Bhisma could have just fight single-handed. Like he was very powerful, as Prabhupada explained to us, right? And then he's saying that everybody here to lay down their lives for me, which means Arjuna has no power. Sorry, Duryodhana has no power, literally. He was just dependent on everyone around. That's how the cheaters, like people who are deceitful, cheater, diplomatic, political, they don't have their own power. They just use their brain to utilize everyone, right? And exploit everyone for their own benefit, right? So that's how happening with Duryodhana here. You see his nature. Now he goes on and he says, hey, Bhisma, like, Lord, Bhisma, we are protected by you. But he thinks that Bhisma is old and he doesn't trust even Bhisma. He goes, oh, no. I am ensuring that you will be protected. So if someone cannot protect themselves, like Bhisma cannot protect himself, so what is the point of saying that you are great, right? Then he's saying, oh, not all of you now protect Bhisma, because he doesn't trust even Bhisma, because he knew one way that he is affectionate to Kauravas, because he did not speak a word when Draupadi was being insulted in the middle of assembly. But at the same time, he knew that they realized their mistake. They may now become affectionate to Pandavas. and they may not fight strongly from Duryodhana's side. So he didn't trust any of them, neither Dronacharya, commander-in-chief, nor Bhishma. Uh, um, and and now, and he's comparing Bhishma and Bhima, right? It's no comparison, but he's just trying to instigate, agitate Bhishma. And Bhishma realized that, this might grandson Duryodhana, poor person getting depressed. So let me blow the conch shell. That's how he realized. And he next verse says he blew the conch shell. And conch shells are described normal, but when Krishna, um, first of all, here it says Krishna was sitting on white horses drawn by Krishna, right? He first blew the conch shell, and it's called transcendental conch shell. You should make highlight or. So wherever there is Krishna, where there is goddess of fortune, so victory means you get a lot of wealth, which is goddess of fortune, right? Indirectly. But if Krishna is there, you have goddess of fortune. Krishna is served by millions and millions of goddess of fortune. They don't get entry. Radharani doesn't allow, right? Radharani is like topmost goddess of fortune. And all the Mahalakshmis even serve Radharani, right? So if Krishna is on your side, then you don't need anyone. And that's how Pandavas saw in Mahabharata, right? So now those chariot is donated by Agni, right? Fire god. The chariot itself could burn anything, right? It's a sun god, right? It's a fire god giving them, right? And next on he goes, that's the end, I think 14th we read, and then 15th we will continue next week. I'm trying to end a little bit on time and we can have more discussion. We have 12 minutes, 1 hour 30-minute session, so that we can have more time for your questions. I know there will be a lot of doubts, a lot of questions, so please feel free to ask now. Hare Krishna. Anyone? It's all clear, or there is nothing made sense here?
Clear, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's clear.
Srila Prabhupada explains very nicely, and he presents in such a way that we can relate it, right? So a couple of practical lessons from today's what you see. We should try to memorize the qualities of Duryodhana.
Mm.
And then we try to see people in our life or people around us who looks like Duryodhana. Because there are always people like, or maybe myself itself have those qualities, then we try to get rid of those qualities, right? Duryodhana qualities, like not trusting anyone, right? Not appreciating what you already have and try to comparison mindset. It's very detrimental to our mental health, for our own career growth, comparative, everything being compared. Even sometimes I compare in life. But we have to be sticking to somewhere, right? Like Pandavas were stick to Krishna. But the Kauravas, the Duryodhana was not stuck to anyone, neither Dronacharya, nor Bhishma, nor in his own power. He didn't trust anyone. And some people say that, you'll see, I don't trust anyone because I trust myself. Actually, they don't trust themselves also. Because trust is a process. If you don't know how to trust, first of all, because of maybe some bad experiences, because of some people had bad experience, and now they don't trust anyone, but they are most agitated and tensed people. Because if you don't trust anyone, it's very hard to live in this world, right?
Yes.
And that, because if they don't trust anyone, if you think, they don't get proper sleep, because then what will happen tomorrow? What if my job is gone? What if I don't get up in the morning? What if there's phobias, phobias of fear of loss? They lament for something which they don't have, and they hanker for something which they lost. So their present is spoiled. In present, they are hankering for something which they don't have it. So they're trying to find that. And they are lamenting for something which they lost. Oh, what if I had that? Oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do this. I couldn't have that. And I want this, I want this. So in the present, they are just stretched between past and future. Right? This is you can, and so we should first of all analyze our thought process, and then sit down and try to think that how much it is real, right? How much is just my brain is trying to tax me, and how much it is actually is real. And then the best way, because a lot of things in our life is not under our control.
Yes.
A lot of things in the body, the food you eat automatically get digested in the stomach. You never take a spoon and try to mix in the stomach. It's automatically designed. The machine is designed in such a way that it digests. When we sleep, we don't think when we will get up. We just get up. Right? There is no guarantee in the morning I'm going to get up. Right? Because
Yes.
a lot of people, if you search in Google, how many people sleep but never wake up? Thousands. Right? So,
Yes.
right? Our brains are not under our control. Our senses are not under our control. So we what to controlling others, like our son, our children's, our spouse, or our father, mother, job. Control is difficult. We cannot control. But while we are sitting in this machine, you will learn in Bhagavad Gita how it is a machine, not a you. You are a soul, not a machine, right? So while we are sitting in this in nice car, best class, automatically running machine, it so beautifully captures all the scenes, allows you to hear, allow you to chew, allow to experience emotions. um, if we stick to Krishna, and the best way, you can ask how to remember, how to stick to Krishna, is the only way to do Hare Krishna chanting. By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare.
This is the only way. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. If you are still thinking, I used to think when I was new in Krishna consciousness, that there should be some more dynamic way of remembering Krishna. Why just repeating the same thing again and again and again and again? It's like I'm getting hypnotized or something, or what? Repeating the same thing, right? And then you realize there is no other way, because other ways are very difficult. This is the most simplistic, practical, and profound way to remember Krishna. Other processes in this present life, we don't have capacity. Literally, we don't have capacity. You cannot go to Himalaya and sit in a meditation. Who will pay for next? Who will work and get a paycheck? Who will build your career? Because when you come down from Himalaya, people will kick you off. Like you won't get even water, right? So this time, the only thing we can do while we are doing our job, our duty, our education, our study in this body we are living, is to chant. And it takes you 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes. And that changes your whole life. And I know so many people, and I'm helping right now, like it works. It works, it works like anything. And the best part is Maha Mantra, you can do at any time, any place. No barrier. Time, place, purity, circumstance. Such a nice way Krishna has appeared, right? In the form of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Right? Initially, you may not realize that you are remembering or not, but it will clear up those Duryodhana mentality, like those fear of uncertainty, future, lamentation, greed. That has to go away, because we have to become like Arjuna, like fully dependent, right? And give our life's chariot in the hand of Krishna.
Krishna.
let you, please, Krishna, let it drive. Now you take it. I'm just sitting there. I will do whatever you say. And in our life, we can do that by chanting, which means you are close to Krishna, and by reading Bhagavad Gita, which is a Krishna's instruction, personally in battlefield. And most of us are not in battlefield. We are fighting our battle in our life, little battle, mini battles, like different situation, but not like life or death. Like you're gonna just kill or kill others, right? So we are in better position that way from Arjuna than the Arjuna. And if we take this simple thing, chant one round daily, one round is 10 minutes. Want to do it in India time morning, you can do joining. I'm also trying to do US time morning, 10-20 minutes. Some people join. It's nice to do that. And then just read one sloka of Bhagavad Gita, you're done. Do it for 1 year, 6 months, then you will see the impact, right? It is very powerful. So I wanted to give this little message from this today's discussion.
Prabhuji, I read somewhere that today's battlefield is in our mind actually. Like our mind is itself like half Kauravas and half Pandavas, and we fight for, like, there is a battle in the mind. So whatever spoken in Gita, I heard like it is like we can exactly match with what is going in our mind.
Yes. Thank you, Pavitra. Yes. Actually, when the decision time comes in your life, little things, everybody must have experience. I have experience. There are always two thought comes. Do it, don't do it. Right? There are two dogs sitting there speaking. Now, which dog is stronger? Do it or not do it? Our senses, our body will act for that. Whatever is stronger, right? For example, somebody offers you a cigarette, right? So if you have never experienced the cigarette, for you, cigarette is bad. The moment you see the cigarette, then you'll say, the dog which says no will bark. No, no, no. But there will be some other dog. Okay, maybe let's try how it looks. Why you are trying to behave like someone, what if this person feels bad who is offering? What if this person, I have relation in a way that person has dominance over me, as a boss, as a manager, as a colleague, someone who influences my life, right? Or in future may influence my life. I don't want to have a bad relationship. Let me just pretend to take this cigarette and take just a one sip, right? Like just pretend it. I'm giving very gross, but these are like little. Then other dog feel again, no, 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 you can't do like this. You can't just pretend. You can't. Then sometimes the other dog will say, okay, sometime you can pretend, no problem. So it's once in a lifetime, right? This battle is going on, as you said, in our head, right?
Yes.
Right. And when we chant and read Bhagavad Gita, then our positive dog becomes stronger.
Yes.
You are feeding the soul that, okay, here is the thing. Here is the reason you should not do it. Right? Because there could be just 100 reasons to do bad things. But there could be one reason for not doing that bad thing. Right? Just one reason is enough for not doing something bad in life, right?
Yes.
Yes. So thank you for sharing that. Okay. All right. So we'll end here, I think. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and welcome, Parvati. I think you should join every week with Pavitra. And yeah, we'll continue. And you can invite other friends who need help or want to understand. It's okay. We are just starting chapter 1, so very beginning. And we have less people in English. That's why I'm asking, invite other people. Trying to be nice, have more people and more engagement. Especially Thanksgiving is coming in US, and then December is going to be holiday time. So people, I'm planning to conduct that Bhagavad Gita 18 days course, like summary course from starting from December 22 to January, maybe 8 or something, so that we finish in that holiday time. A lot of people can daily read one chapter summary daily. So 18 days, 18 chapter whole Bhagavad Gita summary, you get a glance, and then you go into detailed study. Like read verse by verse. So I'm going to send advertisements. So please share with many people as possible. It's in both mixed language, Hindi, English mix, but it's the good introductory kind of 18 days program, 1 hour daily. Going to be India evening, US morning. So I think ad is already out. I need to just change the dates and little bit changes, but sorry. And December is the month when Bhagavad Gita was spoken in battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Gita Jayanti is coming. Okay. So it's really very auspicious, right? And we'll celebrate that. On that day, when Bhagavad Gita was spoken, I'm planning to organize 3 hour session when we read Bhagavad Gita translation and Sanskrit one day, just finish 18 chapters, just not going in purport, but just Sanskrit and translation. So many people can sit together on Zoom and just read and finish. It's nice to, because Krishna spoke that Bhagavad Gita. If you in I think somebody was saying in 45 minutes. Okay, because he has to just speak in Sanskrit, right? And Sanskrit was a lingual language. It was a communication language. So
Yes.
45 minutes, right? He must be speaking very fast, and Arjuna was grasping that very fast.
Yes,
For us,
yes.
it's like hard. So, anyways, so that's a detail. Okay. All right. So we'll end here. Vangsha kalptarubhasya cha kripa sindhivyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavbhyo namo namaha. Meaning of this prayer is that if while reading, studying, we committed any mistake to acharyas or all of you, please forgive us, as Vaishnavas are very compassionate. So the next two things I'm gonna say is praying to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva for their blessings, and saying Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Krishna's blessings. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakti. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
all right. So, see you next week. Yes. You're all
Thanks,
feeling good?
Prabhuji.
Yes,
Thanks for
Prabhuji.
organizing this class for very few people.
Yes, there have been debate internally, but I think we'll continue, and hopefully Krishna will send more people. So,
Yes.
yes. All right. Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Have a